MacKenzie, I wanted to dive back into a little bit of what we were talking about after the game the other night when you scored the big game-tying goal and just your play here as of late. And I was looking at your numbers here today. Now, points in 6 of your last 8 games, 3 goals and 3 assists. It seems like being in the lineup consistently, being able to play consistently, practice at a full pace, it has really helped you develop, especially down this final month and a half stretch or so. How do you feel like your game has evolved and improved in what's still been a pretty unique situation of a season?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, it's all about just getting the reps and getting the games. I mean, you look at summer training, guys go off in the off season, and you come back, and some guys you can see it. You practice, you just practice all summer, and then you get into a game, and it's like, oh, there's I didn't do anything all summer, and in terms of game situation, and you try, but there's nothing like it until you actually get out there. And for me, it was, like you said, just getting the reps, just getting, familiar with all the guys on the team, their playing styles, and obviously playing with Piers and Slavin. They're two excellent players. Piers has obviously proved himself, at all the levels, and he's a pretty easy player to play with. So those guys have been making it pretty easy, but it's definitely nice to contribute on the score sheet every night for sure.
And I know you probably want to hit this season, hit the ground running. You mentioned the other night, too, that you had to overcome a case of COVID at the beginning of the season. You lost quite a few pounds trying to get back into game shape after having an extended off season. How are you feeling now, especially you're starting to see, or at least we're starting to see in the broadcast booth, your success with points on the score sheet. But how are you feeling? Do you feel like you've taken your game and gotten back to square one, or have you been able to take a few steps forward after recovering from COVID-19?
Yeah, no, I feel great. Obviously, it's obviously, I mean, a scary sickness as the world is seeing today. But I mean, it's I listened to the doctors. I did everything I could to feel better, and it took me a little bit, but now I'm feeling great. Kinger helped me, slowly get my feet wet and ease me into a couple of games early on, and I thought I could still do better. And obviously, now I feel great. I feel like my game's definitely back, and I've taken some strides forward. But I think, obviously I can still, keep trying to do some little things and always get better each day. So, like I said, I feel great on the ice, and hope to keep improving and getting better each day.
Well, speaking of keeping improving, the window is starting to close. It feels like the season just began not all that long ago in some capacities. In some capacities, it feels like it might have been a grind a little bit longer than expected, but you only have 10 games left. How do you plan on utilizing those 10 games to the best of your advantage before another off season is upon you?
Yeah, I think, like you said, it's been a pretty crazy year. I think, it's kind of just flew by. You play 1 or 2 games a week, and then you practice for a full week, and then you do it again, and you get a day off. So it kind of just flies by, and it's important to go into every single game with that playoff mentality. And it's tough, but I know we're not playing for anything this year. But you want to win, you want to get better, you want to push each other each day. And at the end of the year, a lot of these guys are going to be back next year. And we're going to have a pretty good team, and everyone's going to, so going into games, that's what you got to look for. You got to look forward to the next season, and treat every game like it's a playoff game. And I think we've been doing that over the past couple of games, and that's why you've seen some improvements.
Well, speaking of playoffs and playoff mentality, the Chicago Blackhawks in a bit of a playoff battle themselves. Them and Nashville going neck and neck for that 4th spot in the Central Division. Do you, as a guy that's spent time on the taxi squad, spent time with the big club and a lot of guys in that locker room, and then same here with a lot of teammates that have gone back and forth between Chicago, do you tap into maybe what they're trying to buy into in Chicago in terms of the mentality and that pressure and that push that you want to accomplish here in the final 10 games, whether it's with the IceHogs and you just run out the 10 games, or try and dive into a Blackhawks spot and help them crack and potentially a Stanley Cup playoff run?
Yeah, of course. I think, I actually live with Brandon Hagel in Chicago, and, so obviously I watch all their games, and he comes home, we talk about it. And, they, like you said, I was up there for a little bit. I got to get a little feel, get a little taste. And I know every single guy in that locker room is hungry to, try to make the Stanley Cup playoffs and ultimately win a Stanley Cup. And, there's lots of guys in that room that know what it takes. And, for guys like me and Reese and, Piers, the guys that have been up there and seen that, I think it's definitely huge for, us to come down and sort of bring that mentality, see what take little things from those guys and try to implement them in our games. And like I said earlier, just treating every game like it's a playoff game, and we're definitely on the right track for sure.
Scott Leber, your line is active, sir.
Hi, MacKenzie. I know there's so much uncertainty coming into this season. I don't know if anybody really had any certain expectations of what to expect and what hard goals, but do you feel like you've been able to get out of this season development-wise, from your own personal standpoint? Have you been able to get out of this short season what you were expecting to get out of it for your own development?
Yeah, it's a good question, Scott. I think it's like you said, it's been a crazy year. It's been for me, it's been up and down, and then having to deal with COVID, and I wanted this year to be a big year for me, and I wanted to turn some heads, and I think over the past couple of games I started to slowly do that. It's taken me a little bit of time to definitely get my game to where I want it to be. And I still think I have more. I still think I have more to prove. And, at the end of the day, I want to be a full-time NHL player. I want to prove, to the Blackhawks, to Kinger, to, all the staff here that I can play at that level, and I can play it in the NHL. And, obviously, it's been tough going up and down. And now I think, being able to stay here and get a couple games and really start to dial in and practice and have a consistent line that you're playing with and know the guys around you, I think it's definitely helped. So I mean, this season's been crazy for everyone. So to have the excuse of saying going up and down and not, staying in the lineup consistently and playing every single night, you can't really use that as an excuse. I think, if you want to be a professional hockey player, you got to, those are the things you're going to have to deal with. And you got to be ready every single night. So, it's been good. It's been a fun year. And, hopefully these last 10 games, it's 10 or so games where we win and we try to win every single one, and it'll be nice to go on a little heater before we all go home for depending on where we all go, but going home for the summer for sure.
The team certainly appears to be more competitive than it was earlier in the season. I mean, just do you sense that this team has made pretty big strides and can compete with anybody now?
Yeah, 100%. I think I still remember my first year last year. It was it takes a while. Me coming from junior, it takes a while to get to know the new faces. We have a lot of young guys. I think we got even Krudl's 18, and for guys to ask him to come in and produce the way he is, it's been pretty remarkable. And this is a tough league to play in. Tough league to get points in, and tough league to be successful every single night. It's a hard league. So for these young guys, it's been great. It's been, you saw them come in, sort of, be a little bit nervous, be a little bit scared, and you kind of creeped into our game. And I think now you're starting to see them. All these guys, whether they're from college, junior, or over in Europe, they're all starting to feel comfortable. They all know, what Kinger wants from them, what the coaching staff want from them, and I think that's ultimately what's really pushing us together and moving forward as a team.
All right, thank you.
Thanks.
Brandon Kane, your line is active, sir.
MacKenzie, on the development side, what have you seen as the positive changes in the Blackhawks more investing in the skill session work that you guys do in Rockford compared to last season?
Yeah, obviously there's a ton of practice time with the schedule we have. So we're on the ice four times a week sometimes, and we go out there for skills with all the development staff are down here, and every single guy's definitely gotten better. It's helped us a ton. For me individually, working on face-offs with Yannick Perreault it's been excellent for me. Obviously coming from playing junior and now you're playing against bigger, stronger guys, and it only gets harder at the next level. So for us to have all these guys to hear, help us, I do video with guys away from the rink. They break down all my shifts and tell me little things that I can do better here and there. And so development wise, it's been an awesome year. It's been great, and I can't thank those guys enough for all the time and effort they put into to help develop all of our all their prospects and all the young guys for sure.
How does that change from the practices you have in Chicago with the taxi squad?
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of the same things. I think the taxi squad, you're normally skating with five to six guys in the scratches. Unless there's, an optional skate, then some guys don't go on. You skate with the team. But they're in full playoff mode now. So they're, they want the guys that are playing to be dialed in and practice. So, there's, Brian Keene's there up in Chicago a ton. And he works on, little, puck rims and little things in games that, some people don't really pick up on just watching the game. But, a rim to with a defenseman pinching down on you in your own end, it's a tough play to make. It's a tough play to make to the center or chip or, make a play with a guy on your hip. It's, those are the little things that some people don't see that are really crucial in games. And, all those top players in the NHL are pretty good at them. And that's why they, that's why they make a living in doing what they do. Prime example is Jaromir Jagr. He was so good at playing with guys on his hips and protecting the puck. And a lot of guys, especially me being a bigger guy, that's exactly what, I need to focus on. And up there and down here, they send these exact same message. So that's kind of what's been nice. It's when you go up, you know exactly what to expect. When you come down, you know exactly what to expect. It's the exact same thing. And, that's what's nice. There's no crossover between teams. So, as a player, that's all you can ask for, and they just give you all the tools, everything that you can do to go out on the ice and succeed. So it's been great.
And you mentioned the Crudo as a younger guy playing in the league. Do you think you could have played in the AHL at 18, 19 years old like these guys are doing with Crudo and Phillips?
I'm gonna be honest, I don't know. I mean, it's a tough league. These kids they're big. I mean, I'm saying kids. I'm only 21, but I remember my first year. I still remember going home with Hagel, and we lived together down here as well last year. And I remember telling we'd talk to each other like, I don't know if we're going to be able to play. I don't know. Like we were thinking we might be getting sent down to Indy. Like it's a hard league to all of a sudden jump from junior or playing wherever you're playing over in Europe or college to be successful in. And you look at guys like Mitchie and guys last year like Tyler Secura that have been around a long time. Those and Franz and Cody Franz, and these guys have been around a long time. So just learning how they do it every single day, and I think that's what Krudel and Moberg and obviously there's a couple more guys, but they're Phillips. They're all taking advantage of these guys being around and asking lots of questions. But back to your question, I don't know if I'd be able to play in this league at 18. I'm sure I'd be able to play, but I don't know if I'd be very effective.
Thanks, MacKenzie.
Yeah, thanks.